Welcome to Spine and Sports Therapy Kingwood. My name is Dr. Matthew Brackney. I'm a sports chiropractor here in the Houston area. Today I'm going to do a quick video demonstrating a hip flexor muscle stretch. Before I jump into the demonstration, I do want to just give a little bit of information about this muscle and why it's important. So we're talking about the hip flexor muscle. The medical name is the iliopsoas muscle. Very important muscle for low back issues as well as hip issues. The name is somewhat misleading. When you say hip flexor, you think it's just related to the hip. But if you look at the anatomy, this muscle starts all the way up in the upper part of the low back. So it starts all the way up here, close to our mid-back area. It starts there and then it comes down and it inserts into our hip. Take a moment, jump over to Google and type in iliopsoas muscle or hip flexor muscle and look at that iliopsoas muscle. As soon as you'll see it, you'll see what a big low back muscle it is. When this muscle is tight, when it has knots, when it's adhesed, when it's not working properly, you can immediately see how it can affect the low back and how it can play a big role in low back pain. Like I mentioned, it does insert into the hip, so it is also very pertinent for hip issues as well. But very important muscle for low back issues. It's one of my go-to muscles to work on and fix when someone has a low back issue. I'm going to show you my go-to stretch for this muscle so you can begin to work on this. So I'll jump right into it. This is one of the best ways to get a stretch on this muscle. It's simply a runner's lunge, a lunge type stretch. So I'm going to get in a lunge type position. It's helpful to have something cushy, a cushiony type mat to place your knee on if your knee is sensitive to hard surfaces. You get in this lunge type position and you simply lunge forward. Now when you do this, make sure that your hips are nice and level. If you look at my belt line here, a lot of people when they do this stretch, they'll arch their back. You can kind of see how that places a downward angle on my belt and my hips. And when you do this, you're putting slack into the muscle and you're not getting a good stretch. You also could be affecting your low back in a negative manner. So the key is making sure that your belt line is nice and level. So what that is, it's called a pelvic tilt, that motion there. Like I said, you can use your belt or your hips as a landmark. When that's level, then you go forward, you feel that stretch right here in the front of the hip area. Very important that you feel it right there in the front of the hip. You may also feel some stretch lower down in the quad muscle, but you do not want to feel your low back at all. You don't really want to feel your glute muscles. You don't really want to feel your inner thigh on the opposite side. You mainly want to feel this front hip area. I'll rotate a little bit this way. Right here in the front of the hip. You may feel it come up a little bit into the abdomen. If you get into this position and you can't feel a stretch at all, one way to get a bigger stretch is to clap your hands straight out in front of you and rotate your torso towards your upside knee. When you do that, you go in that rotational pattern, it gets a little bit of extra stretch on that muscle, and that should allow you to feel a stretch there if you don't feel a stretch simply by getting into this lunge position. That's the stretch. Please go ahead and try it out. When you have a moment, try out that stretch. Like I said, it's very important, especially people with back pain and hip pain. This muscle is an important component to those conditions. So please try this out. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to help troubleshoot them. But thanks so much for checking out the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I have another video on how to do a muscle rolling exercise for this same muscle. Go ahead and check that video out as well. You'll find that helpful if you found this one helpful. So thanks so much for checking it out, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Adios.